Entire housing communities are being liquidated by the nation's second largest home builder. We're going to talk about just that in this video with my commentary. Note, today is December 9th, which means the coupon code PP, linked down below for the programs on building your wealth, does expire tonight. Remember, you get lifetime access to those programs, including the Zero to Millionaire course, the Do-It-Yourself Property Management and Rental Renovations course, the Elite Hustlers course for earning more income, the Real Estate Agent course, or the Stocks and Psychology of Money course with the Trading Challenge beginning Monday the 12th. Join any of those courses for lifetime access. Use that coupon code before pricing changes. All right, folks, take a look at this. This, in my opinion, is pretty dang intense. Look at what we have here. Lennar, the nation's second largest home builder, offers 5,000 homes to investors with buyer demand sliding. Okay, now we're going to explain this a little bit, but what I first want you to think about is, why would a home builder decide to bulk sell inventory? Usually, when you bulk sell inventory like this, first of all, stuff like this sounds really enticing to house hack, but we're not buying yet. It's too early to buy. I'll talk about when the time to buy is. But usually when discounts like this are offered, they're in the neighborhood of 20 to 25% in exchange for the seller getting a quick sale, and number two, not having to process individual deals. Home builder cancellation rates are at 2 to 3 times the level they were last year. So every deal, every individual deal they sell is a lot harder to sell now. The problem with this for the home builders is, for them to sell 5,000 homes on the open market, they're basically introducing more inventory to a declining market, and they push prices down as they compete with each other and introduce more inventory, put more inventory on the market quickly. Let's say you're a home builder. You've just completed a housing development and you think, oh my gosh, I've got to somehow get 100 of these 50 homes sold. But then I've got 5 other communities have 150 homes. And then there are 10 other home builders in this neighborhood with 150 homes each. All of a sudden, if we all put our homes on the market, we'd have 5,000 to 10,000 homes on the market in just a concentrated region. It could be a state or the southeast or southwest or whatever. What happens? All of those home values then start sliding even more. One of the reasons we actually haven't seen as much of a slide yet, as interest rates are so incredibly unaffordable. One of the reasons we haven't actually seen the real slide yet is because people aren't wanting to sell. So think about that. Homeowners don't want to sell because 95% of them have a lower interest rate than what market rates are today. So the people who are selling are either investors who are dumping now unprofitable Airbnbs as the Airbnb bubble is popping. You've got home builders who are selling because they have to sell. They're not landlords. They don't rent out properties. They have to sell them. That's just the way it works. Or you've got people who have to sell for other reasons: divorce, death, inheritance, people downsize, whatever. You have the removal of housing stock, or I should say households from the market, leading to fewer demand for rentals and homes to live in as people consolidate into households. Zillennials and millennials stay at home longer, whatever, right? So on one hand, you have fewer people wanting to buy. Rates are high, fewer households wanting to be formed, fewer households being formed. Then, on the other hand, with the housing market, on the seller side, the only people who really have to sell right now are, again, the ones that we've mentioned, home builders being one of the biggest cohorts of that. The problem, though, is if those home builders put their properties on the market and then you accelerate a slide of home prices, which are down already, say, 8%, you get into uncertain escrows that might take you another 60 to 90 days, and then let's say somebody walks away in January or February after potentially the Federal Reserve has hiked another 100 basis points, right? 2 more rounds of 50 basis points, we're up another 100 basis points. Inflation doesn't come down. These all just become really toxic assets for the home builders, and they're going to take a big L on them anyway, potentially 20%. Not just because home prices might be down 20%, but because convincing skittish home buyers in a potentially saturated new development or new region with so much home building with homes creates more fear, and that fear itself can lead home prices to go down even more rapidly. So again, nationwide, we've seen home prices decline somewhere between 8 to 12%. In some areas, you've seen home prices decline a little less, and some a little bit more. But in home builder markets, you've got to be very, very careful as a buyer right now, because the builders realize if we put this stuff on the market, we will crash these local housing markets. So what are they trying to do? They're trying to offload thousands of homes as package deals to institutional landlords. Let's go through the article. Lennar Corporation, one of the biggest, it's the second U.S. home builder, by the way, is offering to sell thousands of homes to rental landlords at a time when sales to everyday buyers have slumped. Now, again, I don't think it's time to buy yet. I think you start opening the valley of the time to buy potentially Q3, Q4 of 2023, although the housing market might not end up bottoming until 2024 or 2025. This is why with my housing startup, House Hack, we are not buying yet. We are on standby, and we're going to wait for very specific indicators to help us indicate when we might be at a bottom. One of the biggest indicators is inventory declining. But you have to be careful, because you can't just look at inventory declining alone, because guess what's happening right now? Inventory is partially declining right now because home sellers are taking properties off the market. Home builders are taking properties off the market, trying to sell them through basically like the dark pools of real estate directly to institutional landlords. It's really, really incredible. So what you have is the people with cash have major purchasing power right now. Major purchasing power. They've got a lot of PP, massive PP. So huge. Never seen a PP that huge. It's really, really incredible. So if you have cash, you're winning right now, and you're in no rush to wait. But again, indicators of a bottom would be not only inventory declining, but also fear has to decline. So you need inventory declining, fear declining. The way you measure fear declining is by pending home sales indicating more multiple offers at competing prices again. If you combine multiple offers, competing prices, the speed of sale is starting to go up, and those in escrow prices are starting to trend up at the same time as inventory is going down, you will notice where the bottom of the market is 3, 6, 9 months before the National Association of Realtors realizes it in their official data, okay? These are very, very simple things. These are things I teach in my real estate investing course. Look, real estate is bread and butter for me. It's a cakewalk. It's easy. I really, really enjoy it. Anyway, Lennar is circulating lists of properties to potential acquirers, according to people familiar with the matter, who've asked not to be named because the process is private. Many of the properties are located in the Southwest and Southeast. This is probably like North Carolina, Phoenix, Vegas. These are some of the areas that have really blown up. Austin, Cedar Park, right outside of Austin in Texas, with the builder giving landlords the chance to acquire entire subdivisions in some cases. So in other words, you just have 100% renters in an area, which that could actually create issues when you have, let's say, a community that is owned by one large entity, and oftentimes that entity owns more than 10% of the homes. Obviously, in this case, they probably would. You could actually run into financing issues with conventional financing, so you have to be careful. Generally, conventional financing requires diversity of home ownership and not like institutional control in one neighborhood. That's deemed too risky. They want to see high home owner occupancy ratios, usually over 50%, especially for condos. And even in housing neighborhoods, generally they want to see, especially in homeowners associations, less than 10% ownership by one entity. So these subdivisions could really run into some financing issues in the future, unless, of course, they just stayed rentals forever. But that could also then lower their value, because generally you want to be renting property in an area that's really heavily owner-centric, because owners invest in their properties, they over-improve their properties, much more so than tenants do. I mean, tenants might change like doorknobs and wallpaper or whatever, and then convert it back after they leave, or leave it if the landlord's okay with it. But you're not talking about like tens of thousands of dollars going into new driveways, roofs, facades, hardscaping, you name it. All right, let's continue on with the piece here. A representative for Lennar said the company offers single-family landlords a chance to buy unsold, completed homes, as well as homes that are nearing completion. Yeah, this is really just the builder saying, look, we're going to take a massive write-down on our inventory, which is known as the builder backlog in this world. We're going to take big write-downs, so why don't we just sell them at a discount now? Then we'll have cash, so when the dip dips, we're armed and ready to go buy more lots and develop again and do a better job in a better time. This is just all about deploying capital. Some of the home builders have actually fallen so inexpensively on the stock exchanges that they've actually considered just buying back their own stock. They're like, let's just dump the real estate we have and we'll just buy back our own stock because we value the assets we have under management basically higher than what we value our pipeline, which is quite crazy. But anyway, a representative for Lennar said the company offers single-family landlords the chance to buy unsold completed homes as well as homes that are nearing the completion. Okay, perfect. The most recent inventory list had about 5,000 homes, the representative said, though the number changes monthly. The average price of a home Lennar sold in the third quarter was $491,000. That gives the properties currently on offer to landlords a potential value of roughly $2.5 billion. Man, that is a huge amount of properties. Oh my gosh. Like, I dream in my lifetime we'll be able to have billions of dollars under management at House Hack, but we're starting with maybe $100 million of purchasing power, right? Got to get that PP up. Though buyers generally demand significant discounts from retail prices. Yeah, again, usually you see 20 to 25%. Although if I had hundreds of millions of dollars and I was in the buying mood, I'd probably be more aggressive with those negotiations. In fact, I'm really good at negotiating with real estate, so I'm confident I'd get a pretty good deal for investors. But again, we're not in the phase of buying just yet. It has been a turbulent year for home builders who saw frenzied demand for suburban homes slow sharply when mortgage rates soared. High borrowing costs pushed home buyers to cancel contracts, leading builders to abandon deals to acquire land. Lennar isn't alone. In recent months, builders have sought bids from rental operators on at least 40,000 homes. Wow. Builders, collectively, 40,000 homes. My goodness. I mean, on an average year, the number of homes that sell is probably will be somewhere around 4.5 million homes over the next year because home sales have plummeted. But to think, 40,000 is a lot because it's a delta difference, right? It's just under 1%. But the point is, that's another 1% across the United States. However, these 40,000 homes are probably almost all concentrated in Texas, Arizona, Nevada, and probably like North Carolina. I don't even know if Florida is part of that, which when you put it that way, those markets probably only represent, 3 out of 50, and then even potentially less because you have states like California. They probably really only represent somewhere around 4% of total home sales, in which case, if those states represented, let's just even for simple math call it 5% of total home sales, right? Just those states. That would be, let's see, 4.5 million times 5%. That would work out to 225,000 homes. Now, all of a sudden, you go 40,000 homes as a ratio of 225,000 homes. Now it's a 17% change in potential inventory. That's what I'm saying. It's because these homes are all concentrated in specific areas. That's why you're having the panic. Many of those properties had been under contract with individual buyers who walked away from purchase agreements. Yeah, I mean, it's buyers suck right now because they're all fearful. Like you can't trust them as far as you can throw them, which honestly is not bad. Like if you're a buyer who canceled a deal, you should feel proud of me saying that because you're making the smart decision, in my opinion, not to be buying right now. I want to be clear. Look, I'm a licensed financial advisor, but this is not personal financial advice for you, okay? If you need personal help, you should consult a professional directly about your specific situation. Although if you want to learn a lot, zero to millionaire real estate investing, I expect would help you tremendously. Use that coupon code expiring tonight, link down below. Many of those properties have been under contract. Single-family landlords have been eyeing builder inventories for months, with some, like industry giant Invitation Homes, seeking to raise new funds to pounce on opportunities. That's true. Those darn suckers are going to just keep growing, though, that Goliath. I mean, you got to admire it. They were funded by so much Wall Street money. I got to hand it to them. They're killing it. Transactions have been muted as investors wait for greater clarity on interest rates and for prices to come down. Lennar has raised money to acquire rental houses, tapping Alliance Real Estate and Centerbridge Partners for $1.25 billion in equity commitments. Oh my gosh. So this is really interesting. Lennar has raised money to acquire rental homes. Okay, yeah, this is for their other subsidiary. Okay, so Lennar has a rental division, but then they have the home building division. So my expectation is the single-family rental division is going to be a separate entity. They want to raise money for that. But why wouldn't maybe Lennar the builders just sell to Lennar the renters division? Because they're bad deals, probably. Like, come on. Like, that should be the biggest red flag right there. Like, the rental division doesn't even want the Lennar properties, and they're part of the same company right now. Has been a cautious buyer. Yeah, exactly. See, their rental division has been a cautious buyer. The company sold about 1,000 rental homes in its fiscal third quarter, with most of those properties going to outside investors. Wow, they've actually been offloading their rental properties too. That is, unless they mean they sold 1,000 rental homes to 1,000 completed homes to other landlords. That might be because they say here rather than to Lennar's single-family rental operation. But again, it just shows you those are hot potatoes. You don't want them right now. Anyway, our program has taken a very disciplined approach to stepping back and waiting for the market to reconcile itself. Yeah. Contrary to what you might have thought, we're probably selling less to our own program and more to other SFR programs. I know, that's like so weird. It's because y'all are basically saying, hey, you should buy this, but we wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole. Man, I don't know about that. I mean, like, I guess on one hand I get it, but that should be such a big red flag. The other companies should be demanding such massive discounts. Anyway, my thoughts. Check out the coupon code link down below. Thank you so very much for watching this video. New York Stock Exchange was such an honor today. Thank you to all of those of you who came out. It was a blast. Jack, do you have anything to say? Bye. Jack says bye. Don't point that in your eyes, son. All right. Thanks, everyone. Have a good night. Bye.